All right, guys, we need to talk about these carnivore macros because it's making people sick. So let's clear it up right now. What's up, everyone? All right, Steph has energy. I got really good sleep last night. Okay, so I want to talk about these macros here and basically why the carnivore diet is making people sick, because it is. And how I know this is because I'm coaching a lot of people now who's transitioned from keto omnivore over to keto carnivore. So as you guys come into the chat, yeah, where are we here? Because we got a lot of stuff going on the screen before people come in. All right, so Corinna. All right, here we go. I think you guys already know what this topic is going to be about. Now, you guys, Carnivore Yogi, she interviewed me for my channel, and I actually did a consultation with her this week, which is pretty darn cool. And I didn't know she was going to book a consultation. She just did. And we spoke about this topic. She spoke about it on her channel, and I thought it would be a really great idea to speak about it as well, which is the carnivore macros. Why it's making people sick, made her sick. She's having issues with her kidneys. And I'm getting that a lot with other people. See, 73 hours fasted. I wouldn't do that. 73 hours fasted. Yes, higher fat. Okay, here we go. Hey, everybody coming into the chat. So, yes, the biggest problem with the carnivore macros is not only the amount of protein and fat, but also the type of protein. So I'm going to go into some of the glandulars and things that you have to consider when it comes to doing a carnivore diet, because just eating your basic red meat is not enough. And here's the problem. Somebody out there started saying that you should be eating 2 pounds of meat. Like, there's no logics to that whatsoever. And especially men are saying this to a woman. Like, I'm 5'3". Who in what right world mind would have me eat 2 pounds of freaking beef? Like, way to go, destroy my digestive tract. Like, what are people thinking? All right, so let's clear this up. And if you're eating 2 pounds of beef, right, you are seriously up at, your protein is going to be up towards over 100 grams of total protein. And that protein, and here's what you got to consider. You need enough stomach acid to break down protein. A lot of you have low stomach acid because of stress, caffeine, dysregulated blood sugar, eating standard American diet for years, smoking cigarettes, sleeping poorly. There's so many things, taking too many proton pumps. There are so many things that downregulate your stomach acid. And then stomach acid is primarily designed to break down protein, protease, and lipase, the fat and protein on these cuts of beef. And so that's just the start of the problem, is that if you don't have the digestive enzymes and peptides and caloric acid to break down the meat, and a lot of people are doing carnivore because they have digestive distress. Okay? A lot of you guys are doing carnivore because you have histamine, or you have some type of diverticulitis or Crohn's or IBS, or even an ulcer, dare I say. And a lot of you who've developed histamine can't even eat all this red meat. Then we have to consider the fact if you guys are having things like a reaction to the uric acid and the purines coming from red meat. And so people, my clients, are doing carnivore, getting gout on their feet, having kidney freaking issues, having histamine reactions to red meat, and having digestive distress, and no one is talking about this. They make it sound so freaking easy, and it's not. So, if I'm having low stomach acid, hypochlorhydria, I'm not going to be able to digest 2 pounds of meat. And what I cannot break down and use, my body's going to convert back into glucose. So I'm not going to be ketotic. And if people, this is what I don't understand. You are not going to get enough energy from 2 pounds of beef. You're not, because that's not enough carbohydrate in the meat to restore glycogen. Yes, there are carbs in meat, and it's under a 1 and per serving, and you are not going to get enough glycogen through gluconeogenesis. So that's not enough gasoline to run a full day on 2 pounds of meat. So then people are fasting, and then they're having the bulk of their meat all in the evening. I mean, the list goes on and on and on how stupid this is. So can we take away the macro count right now? I'd like to see the comments before I go into it. I'm just kind of doing an intro. Thank you, Greek guy. So when you're eating at night, right, and you have hypochlorhydria, and you ate it too fast because you're starving, nobody's talking about this, or people who've got eating disorders where, you know, they're indulging too much. You're eating really late at night, and you're eating the bulk of your meat later. So now you're developing hypoglycemia on this, like intermittent fasting, 2 pounds of meat. Like, it's just the dumbest thing. And people don't like when I speak that blunt, but how else am I going to leave a tattoo memory? Am I going to just make everything sound so soft so you guys don't get a visual of what I'm trying to put out there? So, so someone says, yes, I think I have been getting gout. See, right there, Karina just is confirming what I'm saying in the chat. If you guys are watching the replay, she'll tell you. So yes, people will have underlying conditions. They don't even know, but they start excessively doing things like, who eats 2 pounds of red meat? Like, what? And then you've got people who stopped eating red meat because they thought it was going to give you cancer or heart disease. And then they go from eating chicken breast to red meat, and then they're having a histamine response, or they have hypochlorhydria. They're going from salmon to a bunch of red meat, 2 pounds, and then they're doing it in a 1 meal a day or intermittent fasting, and they're having digestive distress. And then they're developing hypoglycemia on this. How do I know? Because so many people that I coach are now having these problems. And the reason why professionals aren't, or influencers aren't talking about this, is because it contradicts what they said 6 months ago. And if you're contradicting what you're saying, you can't grow your social media. You can't grow your channel. That's maybe what they might be thinking, but you can if you're transparent. You can. So Carnivore Yogi, if you guys go to her channel, she's telling you, look, I started having problems. I started gaining weight. I started having issues with my hair. I'm starting having issues with my kidney numbers. So yes, this is a problem. I've had clients who say that their urine is cloudy. They'll say that their urine stinks. You can smell when people are eating too much protein, and you have to realize this. And I told her this in the consultation. If your liver is not functioning at optimal level, neither is your kidneys. And unless you do a kidney test to check out the level at which your kidneys can function properly or filtrate, you won't know. I mean, who does those types of tests? So, thank you, Del. Yeah, and here's Kate in the chat saying, yeah, no more, intermittent fasting for me. So now people are starting to admit they're having issues. They're having some issues from, gurus will say, eat a bunch of meat, intermittent fast, eat 1 meal a day. Just a bunch of nonsense. Stuff that doesn't make sense in your everyday life, because everybody is different. Excuse me. Everybody is different. And 1 pound of red meat and a half a pound of salmon per day for a big big, but no, that's insane. You can't do that. You can't eat 2 pounds of meat a day. It's just not smart. And it's not smart because you probably are having issues with your digestive tract. That's why people do carnivore, is because there's having some inflammatory reaction. You're not going to be ketotic on a bunch of meat. And the reason why people overeat meat is the fear of fat. And what you guys don't understand is, yes, you have amino acids in meat. Yes, you have protein in meat, right? You have different amino acid profiles in protein, but you don't have enough fat, especially in lean meat. So what's happening? You're not ketotic. And that, even if you're a big dude is subjective, right? The Greek guy, he's almost 6 feet tall. He can't eat that much meat. He can't.
You bet I don't.
You bet I don't. He even said his stomach shrank, so that'd be really hard for him. So just saying that you're a big guy, what's your weight now, Greek guy?
Right now I am 5'11" and a half, almost 6 foot.
Almost 6 foot, okay.
Yeah, and 219, 20 pounds.
He's 219 or 20 pounds. Should he eat 2 pounds of meat because he's 200 and almost 220 and almost 6 feet tall? No, because he has digestive distress. Those 2 pounds of meat aren't going to help him. If he's having problems with constipation, he'll continue to. Then, not only that, you guys have to consider all the bacteria, because we don't know where these meats are coming from, right? If you're not, you know, fresh slaughtering your own animals, or you don't buy it from a farm or ranch, then, and if you're eating corn-fed, I mean, there's layers on top of this absolute insanity, like a pound of salmon and a pound of beef. That's a no. Ketotic is a word, yes. It's always about, if you're going to do carnivore, it must be keto carnivore, because you're going to run into the thyroid problems, the adrenal problems, because I'm getting more people who are developing low cortisol, because they're constantly running around with hypoglycemia, insulin resistance. So I did a live, I think, from my apartment, talking about a woman who was doing carnivore for a year, and she started to develop diabetes doing carnivore. Now, the vegans might say that the IGF-1 is damaging her insulin receptors. No, it's doing carnivore and not being ketotic. And if you do carnivore for a year and you're not using glucose and you're not using ketones, and dang, can you turn that, I know it's hot outside, it's like in the 80s, but can we turn off that air conditioning for just like 5 minutes? Just 5 minutes, and we can turn it back on, because then it's going to get too hot if we have it off the whole time.
Okay, 1 sec.
Okay, thank you. So, yeah, you guys don't forget to like up this. Oh, he was writing. Oh, yes, like up this stream, you guys. We got 62 people in the house and only 11 likes. So maybe you guys are engaged, but it helps to bring people to the live stream right now, because I don't see who's liking. I'm not losing, but trying to eat close to 200 grams of fat. How long does it usually take to get into ketosis? Don't want to waste my test strips. So you have to eat over 200 grams of fat. So don't just try to make 200, and I'll go into how to get that fat in. No, I don't like people to supplement iodine, especially without selenium, but I digress. So 2 pounds of beef is no. Let's go over the macros for keto carnivore, and let's make it keto carnivore and not carnivore. So the carnivore community is saying eat 2 pounds of beef, and they're not telling you to eat freaking glandulars and eat liver, because here's another problem that happens with just eating 2 pounds of beef. Your electrolytes go to the trash can. Okay? So a lot of people are having electrolyte issues because they just heard eat a bunch of meat and you're going to be healthy, and you don't need to, you know, and if you fast, you're going to be in ketosis. No, you're not. You're not. Ketogenesis is a process where you have to eat high fat for your body to break down the fat that you're eating, convert it via the liver, and get it into the bloodstream and pass the blood-brain barrier and into the Krebs cycle for your cells to get those ketones. And eating a bunch of meat incites gluconeogenesis of spiking back your glucose. So that's going to block your keto adaptation. No one's talking about that. No one's talking about that excess amount of protein that, first of all, you're having a hard time breaking down that protein. What your body can't use, and if you're insulin, here's another thing. If you are insulin resistant and you pound 2 pounds of meat down, the body's like, I'm sorry, but the insulin cannot take the amino acids and get it nicely into the muscle cells so they will grow because you're insulin resistant. And now all we're doing is putting pressure on the immune system because there's no gasoline going into the tank. There's no stored glycogen. There's not enough stored glycogen, and there's no ketone viability that's in production. So you've got nothing in the tank except a bunch of protein and insulin resistance. That's not going to fix. People are having this rebound of their blood sugar spiking, eating a bunch of protein because they're not adapting. And if the body's like, well, if you're not going to adapt into ketosis or being highly adapted, then I'm going to go and try to create more glucose, but never enough glycogen. And that wrecks your immune system. So I hope you guys understand what I'm trying to explain, because the girl who started to develop between type 1 and she's having problems with her pancreas, right? She's between type 1, type 2, and type 1 diabetes from doing carnivore for a year. That stuff is gnarly. So not having enough fat, not being ketotic is going to literally create problems with the way your body goes into gluconeogenesis and also the immune function, right? Because what was she prior to doing carnivore? Was she insulin resistant? Was she riding that line? And then she's not adapting. She doesn't have any energy. She's putting pressure on the adrenal system. She's high in cortisol. And maybe she might have been fasting a little bit in that time, because most of you do try fasting, and now her beta cells aren't working properly. Be careful, you guys. It doesn't matter what I say or anyone else says. Go do your due diligence. Find out what your existing health problems, where they lie, before just copying, go eat 2 pounds of meat. Because if I ate that right now, that'd be a problem. And not only even that, people are developing constipation. So there are a lot of different things why you just don't eat 2 pounds of beef and call yourself ketotic, because you're not. It's really difficult to adapt. And so, just because you go and pee on a urine strip means nothing. And you can even test your blood ketones, and it still means nothing if you have a weak gut wall. Okay. Now, Stephanie put up to that post on Instagram on her black bikini where she said she built her glutes back. Okay, that is not what I'm talking about right now. I didn't know what I was reading. Okay, so let's go into some of the macros on what you have to add in on a keto carnivore. So keto carnivore is always 200 grams of fat. That's keto omnivore as well. Low carb, high fat can go as low as 150 or 120. So here's just like a messy little diagram that you can't see very well, and we've got graphics on top of graphics, but that's okay because I still love the Greek guy. We both are very busy, so it's kind of hard to coordinate how we're going to do this because it looks a little messy. But let's go up with listing everything that's in all this. So up here we've got biotin, calcium, we've got chromium, copper, iron, magnesium, manganese. We have phosphorus, potassium, selenium, zinc, vitamin A. We have the fat. This is in liver. Liver is the shite. You must eat liver on a carnivore diet because the lean meat's not going to have all of this. Okay, it's going to have potassium and it's going to have trace amounts of magnesium. It's going to have amino acids, proteins, and some iron. But we start to lose some other things here. So we want the fat-soluble vitamins. So we want fatty cuts, and we want to add fat, like butter. If you don't have a histamine intolerance, or lard, or tallow, and dare I say lower on the list, fowl, which would be duck or goose fat. So we got vitamin B, we've got vitamin D, E, A, and K. So liver has a high amounts of A, and I think I'm going to do a video on this on how my eyesight improved on eating liver, and it only took 6 months that I was losing my 20/20 vision, and as soon as I started eating liver daily, at least 1 ounce, my eyes went back to 20/20. It's amazing what retinol from liver, not the carrot stuff, the carotene. We're talking retinol from liver. So we need these things that you're not getting on the 2 pounds of a carnivore diet, okay? So we got vitamin D, E, A, and K, these fat-soluble vitamins. And we've got thiamine, which is B1, riboflavin, which is B2, we've got niacin, which is B3, we've got folate, which is B9, and we got B12. So we've got that in the lean meats as well, but we have so many things packed in liver. So we've got vitamin C. We've got really fair amounts of vitamin C for those who are afraid of rickets. And we have omega-3, trace amounts, not a lot, but got a little bit of omega-3s. We have we've got choline, we've got those are all the things that are in liver. And so we have a selenium also is another one that is, I don't know if it's listed here, but there's fair amounts of selenium. So people are having thyroid issues. What do you need when you have thyroid issues doing carnivore? You need vitamin C. Okay? We need vitamin C, and there's two mechanisms. You need vitamin C and vitamin D to get T3, free T3 to bind to protein globulin that will transport that T3 into a cell, and then you need vitamin D, you need selenium and vitamin C to get it into the cells. So we need a lot of these nutrients that you find in liver just for your thyroid to function properly without plants, is what I'm trying to tell you guys. Now, also we need selenium and iodine. So if you're having, some people are like, I don't like the iodine drops, especially when they're brown, because even the dye in the drops is very poisonous. If people do choose to do an iodine for their thyroid, I would suggest a seaweed based iodine, and then you have to see if you're reacting to that, because a lot of people are doing carnivore are reacting to a lot of stuff, but you have to have selenium, which is in beef. Now, let's go to some more slides here. I'm waiting for the slide. And I can't see the comments right now, so sorry guys. I'm completely blinded right now.
For some reason, it doesn't go.
Okay, well, I will, if we take away some of my notes and so I can see the chat while you're trying to fix the next slide. Okay. Robin's like, preach, sister. Love you, Stephanie. Thank you. What's up, Jackie? She's like, you go with your bad self, the biochemistry. All right, so oysters.
Sorry about the oysters.
This is oysters right here, and I was trying to find a screenshot because the oysters look so gross sometimes. I was like, that looks really warm, you know, friends around the table eating. So I need my notes back up now because I'm going to talk about some oysters. So oysters are really, really great as well. So there's a couple things. Oysters, salmon roe, and liver are really, really high nutrient foods. So is brain, so is tongue, so is heart. But oysters are great when you compare sort of liver to oysters. So in oysters, we have also iron. So women who are having iron deficiency. Now people are like, oh my God, there's a new problem with people having too much iron overload on a carnivore diet. And if you're a woman and you're not menstruating, we have to think about that gut wall. Now, hemochromatosis is when men have too high levels of iron. That's very rare. So it really makes me wonder, another problem that people are having from too much beef is iron overload. So that was another thing I forgot to mention in the introduction of this video. So we've got iron, niacin, thiamine, potassium, selenium. So there's high amounts of selenium. So again, you can do selenium. You can get selenium from oysters, or you can get it from, and zinc, really high amounts of zinc and selenium in oysters as you like compare it to liver. So people are like, oh, should I eat Brazil nuts? No, eat some oysters or eat some liver. Now we have also manganese. I don't know why my mouth doesn't want to say that right. And magnesium, riboflavin, potassium for those who are needing potassium on these diets. So that's really another important thing, is where you're going to get your potassium from if you're doing 2 pounds of beef. We also have vitamin C, sizable amounts of vitamin C also in oysters. And that's why I like to compare oysters and B12. Oysters and liver are really good for you guys. Really, really, really good. Now, let's go. Are we still looking for, oh, that's way too small. Almost useless. He's got all the slides on top of each other. Now you guys want to know why I yell at him? I sent this at what time?
Oh, no, you didn't.
Yeah, I did. I know it because I sent it before I
No,
left.
you did it.
Yeah, I did.
So I was ready. The program, it doesn't work right now. That's why I can't change the stuff. So thank
Look
you.
at he's got his what is it? Matrix glasses on.
Yeah.
Okay.
Please.
Okay. So we have beef tongue. So here I found a picture of beef tongue because people have this idea that like you can't just do a bunch of lean meat on carnivore. You're going to run into problems because you're going to need a lot of vitamins and minerals that you don't get in just eating a bunch of ribeye, which is really expensive, or corn-fed beef. So if you're getting grass-fed tongue and brain and heart and kidney, and because kidney is so great for diamine oxidase, these are the things that I think that carnivore people are missing when they're just eating 2 pounds of meat, which is just ridiculous. So, for example, if you were, I would take up a pound and do even less than a pound of beef and cut it up, split it up throughout the day. And I would not just do a pound of beef because, like I said, if you guys are having histamine, you have to rotate your meats. You can't just do red meat if you're having an aversion to it, if you don't have enough stomach acid, if it gives you a stomach ache, or you feel sick eating it, and then everybody's saying on carnivore you do this. Same thing that people have problems with the vegan thing. They'll be like, oh, you eat this on veganism, and people pound the beans down, or they'll pound the kale down, and they start having issues with oxalates, or whatever people are having issues with, or the fruit and all this nonsense. So beef tongue is really great. So this is a very ketotic keto carnivore dish. That's why I decided to put beef tongue down. People think, oh my God, it's so gross, but it's not. You can actually mince it down and mix it with hamburger meat, and it makes that hamburger patty taste so juicy. And why we get caught up in the sterilization of these poor little animals is ridiculous. I mean, we just go to the supermarket, we don't think about that they're being slaughtered, but we keep thinking that tongue, what's so different between a leg muscle and tongue? It still has protein in it and fat in it. Like, it's from the same animal, so it always behooves me. But the tongue is very nutrient dense. It's got 70% fat. It's got also high in iron for people who've got iron deficiencies. So when I was younger, I had iron deficiencies because I would have heavy blood menstrual cycles. Mountain Beach. It's got also pretty sizable amounts of vitamin C. So who knew that beef tongue has iron and vitamin C and is high in fat. So if we're eating a very fatty meat that won't kick you out or block your keto adaptation, beef tongue, and it is so delicious, you guys, cooked, sauteed in butter. It's so good. So that's another thing that I want you guys to consider. So the organs that I really find that are the most important is liver. Then it would be oysters. Then it would be things like brain and tongue because of the fat content and the vitamin D levels that you can get for the thyroid. It also has, so kidneys are really good for diamine. Kidney and thymus is really good for diamine oxidase production, otherwise known as DAO. This will help you. The kidney will help, and thymus will help the production of DAO, which will help you break down the histamines that that have developed from a weak gut, which is why you even went into carnivore. And if you're doing red meat, you're not going to fix that gut wall. Dare I say, make it worse. So carnivore macros, right? This whole 2 pounds, oh, my arm's just disappearing like I'm a ghost. That's pretty cool. This whole 2 pounds of meat thing is ridiculous. So the whole point here, what I don't like about this, if I had time to actually make my own little graphics, it would have a ton of fat. So you want to have at least 12 tablespoons, and in a tablespoon, it's 30 grams in weight for those who don't live in the U.S. and don't use ounces and tablespoons and teaspoons and all this. So a tablespoon is 30 grams in weight, and we want at least 45 grams in weight. That's 3 tablespoons of fat added to your meat. So you're not just eating beef. You can't rely on the fat, because you can't actually, you can take this slide away here. You can't actually, even though this beef has a lot of fat marble on there, you would have to eat this whole thing to get your, that's a lot. You would have to eat, that's probably like 12 ounces. You would have to eat this entire thing to get the fat that you need to be ketotic. So that's what's ridiculous. And a lot of you guys don't realize that when you eat fat, you're not hungry because you need so many things to digest it, like the gallbladder and like lipase and digestive enzymes. With protein, you could eat a big chunk of protein and, believe it or not, be hungry again. That's the problem with eating a lot of meat. You're spiking your blood sugar, you're blocking your keto adaptation, you're putting pressure on the kidneys. And this is only good, eating a bunch of meat, 2 pounds of beef is only good for people who've got absolutely perfect kidney function, which I'm starting to realize a lot of you don't. And if you don't believe me, go to Keto Yogi's channel and she'll tell you she's having problems with her kidneys. So I think I want to go and look at the chat now and answer some questions, because we are very much on time constraints.
Well, the timing is impeccable.
Oh, good. What time is it?
It's 4:30.
Oh, good.
Like clockwork today. Like, I don't know, I'm amazed.
Yeah, he's amazed.
So let's go to
do the comments. I hope this helped you guys on the replay. I know I was going through things fast, but I'm running a keto course page where I'm writing out the course lessons. I'm like reviewing homework and comments, questions, and then I have a horse, and then I have consultations, and I have to prep for these live streams. So and he has less time now. So I wish we had more time, but we don't. To go more into to detail. Yes?
Corina just joined your Facebook group today.
Oh, yay! So it's my course page, so I'm really glad that she's there. And this is a place where I can do little mini consultations this week. And I'm deciding if I'm going to do it Saturday or Sunday. I've got a lot of people signed up for it. So this is, people are like, do I pay extra for that? I'm like, no. You get to go and do a mini consultation with me, plus a whole friggin' month's worth of hardcore content, plus days where you can ask Steph by typing a question out, or questions. So we got Kari saying hello. Hi, Dawn. Nice to see you. Nice, Karina. I am currently 73 hours fasted, but I'm likely going to go back to higher fat and split up your meals throughout the day, because eating 1 meal a day is the best thing to ruin your adrenal and thyroid function. And there's reproductive hormones. Thanks so much for addressing this topic. Thank you so much. Was it Jenna Lee? Patricia says, hi, I eat a lot of liver, heart. Great. Oh no, I said, oh, you guys are like, how much liver? You only need about 1 or 2 ounces a day, just as a multivitamin. And we have to be careful for the carb count, because if you're cooking it, the carb count's going to go up. FYI, I did a video on how to prepare liver if you don't like the taste. I don't prepare my liver that way, by pulling out some of the iron, because that's what gives it its metallic taste. Yes, macros are always an issue for many of us. So, okay, I need to talk about the amount of protein. I forgot. You need to go and eat, for women, it's 45 to 60 grams of protein, depending on your height. The sweet spot is around 55 grams of protein. If you're 4'11", dare I say, you need to go up to about 45 to 53 grams of protein. You want to split up your protein 3 times a day. Not really counting what's in broth, which is about 7 to 9 grams of protein. But you want to go and have a breakfast. And you can start off with 2 ounces of protein, or 50, I think it's about 60 grams in weight, not in total protein. I'm not talking about total. I'm talking about in grams in weight and ounces. Now, in total protein, you want to have between about 8 to about 18 grams of protein in your first meal, depending on your hunger, because a lot of you guys have developed issues with satiety and hunger. And leptin is a whole nother subject as well. And have a hard time breaking down meat and having too much a cortisol response. So if you have too much adrenal response in the morning and you're tired, or you eat late at night, you're not going to be hungry to eat more than, let's say, up to 20 grams or 22 grams of protein total in one meal. So 3 times a day, between 45 and 60 grams of protein for women. Now for men, it's going to be a wider range. It's going to be more from around 60 to about 95 grams of protein split up into 3 meals per day. Just to get that clear. The fat's always got to be over 200. I eat about 270 grams of fat. I was hitting 220, but my fats keep rising. And as you guys can see, I am a woman in my 50s, soon to be 53. Full natty, no TRTs, HRTs, nada. This is all me. And I'm not gaining weight on raising my fats even higher because my body knows what to do with those fats. And I'm going to go really into this LDL cholesterol, or actually lipoprotein, and how important it is to have a high LDL count, but a high HDL and a low triglyceride, but really, and also your calcium score. All right. The magnesium supplement you should take is magnesium glycinate. Some people react to it, very rare. And then you would take malate. Now you could take citrate to get rid of gallstones, to help get rid of gallstones or the stones in the biliary system, which is the liver, kidney, and the colon. I mean, gallbladder, not colon. There's no stones in your colon, just plaques. You could take magnesium citrate at night. I make a DIY supplement for magnesium. Carbonated water plus milk of magnesia converts into magnesium carbonate, well absorbed. Yeah, well, that milk of magnesia is just going to send you to the toilet 20,000 times with really watery, and could dehydrate you. So be careful on that monk mode. No more intermittent fasting for me. Love that, Kate. What about 1 pound of red meat and 1/2 pound? That's horrible. I'm sorry, HP. I don't mean to say it's horrible, but I got to keep it real. That's horrible. Stephanie. For big buff dude. Sorry, we are. And a big buff dude, are you like 5'5" and a big buff dude? Like, what's your stomach? What are your stomach acids? Do you have any diverticulitis, Crohn's, any issues, constipation? Those things matter too. For fiber, for those who have constipation, first doing carnivore, you can do for the short term tendons, bone, like especially fish bones are really great because that's all fibrous parts of the and you can do eggshells, chill. For the short term, desiccated, granularized, powdered eggshells in capsules, or you can make it yourself for the short term. And it's good in calcium. Okay, otherwise fish bones or chicken bones, but they have oxalates in them. I digress. I have overeating, fast eating issues. I started eating a spoonful of lamb fat before starting a meal. It helps me get that full feeling so I know that when to stop. Okay, that's a great idea. Smash Lee Evans. And you want at least 45 grams of fat per meal on the plate. I go up to 70 or 80 or even 100 grams on a plate, but at least 45 grams total of fat, or 3 tablespoons. I've been doing OMAD Carnivore for a year, but I've spent a long time in keto, odd avocado, but I try to, please, monk mode, don't do this OMAD thing. And people who do this, and not to be rude, but people who do this, they drink the Kool-Aid. They're like, oh my God, it's the best thing ever, but they're not healthy. People don't tell you that they're going through hypoglycemia, they're tired, they don't sleep well. Nobody talks about that when they're doing these crazy 1 meal a day things. What their adrenal functions were before, what their blood sugar is, all of these things matter. What their electrolytes are, because eating 1 meal a day, a lot of people have electrolyte issues. Yeah?
Let me tell you what I feel, because I'm doing OMAD, because I forgot to eat, as we said in my consultation. So the thing is that around 4 o'clock, even sitting over here and editing on the computer, I feel so tired, like it's going like this, literally. And yesterday I slept in this chair for like half an hour.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, were you like looking at the screen?
No, I was editing. Like.
There you go.
Yeah.
There, he's telling you guys. Greek guy in the real. Okay. What's the best way to eat? So what do you mean, Toya? I don't know what you mean. Is ketotic word, yes. Okay, 5'11", 160. Okay, child, you are, no, that's way too much protein. You're like so underweight at 5'11". Sorry, I'm just keeping it real. Sorry, Steph, under 80.
That's the guy with the buff dude.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. I was getting the two guys. Sorry, Monk Mode and HP. I got you guys mixed together. Sorry, Steph. 180, 12% body fat, mesomorph, naturally muscular.
And 5'9".
That's way too much for 2 pounds for 5'9". That's.
He was asking about 1 pound of red meat and half pound of salmon per day.
Oh, half pound. I missed that. 1 pound and half pound.
So
I would even just dare him to be a bit under a pound of beef a day.
okay. And no salmon or with salmon?
He should mix it up.
Yeah. Okay.
I forgot how many ounces are in a pound. Let me Google that. You want to Google that, quick guy?
Okay, Google. How many ounces in a pound?
1 pound equal to 16 ounces.
16 ounces.
Yep.
Yeah, that's right. So it's 16 ounces, which is in a pound. So 16 ounces, and really I only want you as a male to go around 15 ounces a day. So I got it right. It's a little bit under a pound a day for a guy. So women would probably hit around around 10 ounce, 9 to 10, because you're doing 3 ounces per meal. Let me see, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I used to eat 1 meal a day, but when I started eating only meat after 4 hours, I
4 days.
Oh, 4 days. Oh, my bad. 4 days, I could not do 1 meal a day anymore. So now I eat 2 to 4 meals a day. 3 is good. If it's a meal. Oh, you're a guy, Del. Yeah, okay. That changes it up a little bit. I'm not losing, but trying to eat close to 200 grams of fat. You don't gain weight on fat. You gain weight because you're having problems with your insulin, your estrogen, and your leptin. So it's hormones that make you not lose weight. So you have to address, why am I not losing weight? Am I estrogen dominant? Am I not sleeping? Is my blood sugar dysregulated? Is my insulin to glucagon balance off? Is glucagon not doing its job? Am I leptin resistant? It's not the fat grams, clearly, because I'm a small woman eating almost 300 grams of fat a day, and you can still see abs here. I mean, my body fat's probably around 13 or 14%. So a lot of people who think that they're 13 or 14%, they're not. You tend to be higher. Not losing. Okay, we'll see. Have you had that? Okay, so I'm stuck. Okay, can we see more comments? Mm-hmm. Would you say shaky hands means something? It's the Greek guy has that. You want to put your hands on camera? He has it really bad. I believe he's got a mineral deficiency, but he's a bit in denial of that.
About my hands?
Yeah, you want to put them like this? Well, now they look fine. Wait, let me see your hands. I wonder if keto is making you less shaky.
Look, guys, because everybody was asking me, since I was a kid, like, I don't know, 6, 7, always my hand was going like this.
Really bad.
Yeah. And when I'm stressing out, like the adrenaline goes up before a fight or whatever, I'm shaking like, it's difficult even to fight.
I'm 99.9% sure it's from a deficiency. Is it still shaking today?
I think
shaking less.
What?
Because you put my mic on today and I didn't feel that.
Who is shaking less?
You are.
Well, yeah.
It might be keto. You're shaking less. You are. I mean, his hands would tremor. I'm telling you, Michaelis.
Well, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, I think so. That'd be cool, right?
That would be cool. But from what I read back in the day when I was young,
that's 100 years ago.
It was calcium that I was missing, apparently.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Did you ever try taking it supplementally?
Nope.
Okay. Let's see more comments there. Okay, I can't ketones above a 0.1. Yikes, even when I limit my carbs. Haley, you're not eating enough fat. Like, even if you had leaky gut, you should get it at least to 0.8. Leaky gut means you're just not absorbing your fat. And you could have a gallbladder issue too, which is not breaking down the fat to then be converted via the liver. I'm catching a live. Yay! You're catching a live, Tiffany. But I always ate pretty clean, mostly animal foods. Okay, I don't remember what. I would like to see the legs.
That's you.
That's you.
Well, me. through
That
you.
was him, but that's supposed to be me. Where were the likes?
We
88
are 86 viewers and 57 likes.
Don't forget, you guys, to like up the stream because we're trying to. Poor Steph's been working her tushy off, and we don't want a small tushy to get more exposure because I got buried. I got like buried under the keto and carnivore craze. Okay, liver is the best food. It really is. What source do you recommend we get our fat from?
Butter.
It depends. Butter is the best. Butter is probably going to be like if you're going to go to a supermarket and not render your own fat. It's the best and the easiest and the most tastiest. But if you don't have a histamine and reaction to the butter, otherwise it would be beef. And some people can handle beef, but they can't handle lard. And if you can't do beef, you can do lard. And if you can't handle lard, you can do beef. And then some people are so fracked up they can only do duck fat. So let's see here, or goose fat. Okay. You are so right. Steph makes total sense. Thank you, HP. Thank you. Can you eat butter stand alone as a snack? Does it have to be alone with some protein? Now, I suggest butter. It's a great question. Butter with protein for those who've got hypoglycemia or people with gallbladder. Don't eat butter by itself if you have gallbladder stones, no gallbladder, or gallbladder sludge, because you will feel it without the protease enzyme and the chloric acids to help break down the fat. Colostrum for the gut. Colostrum's amazing. Colostrum is the shite. So what colostrum does, it helps to heal the cells within the gut wall, so those junctions will tighten up. What? Somebody asked something.
Yeah, I find playing Sega Genesis get me into ketogenesis faster.
I know you would like that because he's a vidit, and that's a video game idiot.
Not me.
No, but you find it funny.
Yeah.
I find it annoying. Okay. I don't care about video games. See, he gets that joke because the Greek guy, because he loves video games, or it resonates with him more. Women are like, whatever. Okay, liver has DHA too. Yes, it has DHA. But I said that, omega 3s. Okay, here we go. I'm healthy. I eat McDonald's breakfast regularly. We got a troll in the house. All right. Sadly, this person has no picture for a reason. Okay. Even like face tuning couldn't help this person, so they had to have no.
Well, actually, lately, now that we're talking about McDonald's, let me get into it here. So lately I heard that Starbucks, you know these little 2 eggs with bacon and gravy and cheese that they have? They said that it's keto friendly.
It's not. All
Basically,
right.
they say they have 2 eggs, bacon, and gravy inside.
What's gravy?
Cheese.
Okay, so cheese is not ketotic at all, and it's high in casein. It spikes people's blood sugar. The other thing is that, not to get on his case, I'm just trying to move it along. And then the eggs, the bacon is always is been cured in sugar, so it's as non-keto as possible. Now, is it better than their bagel? Sure, but it's not ketogenic, or it's not carnivore either. Okay, Steph, your skin looks really good. Thank you. My melasma is finally coming off. I did my forehead last. You guys can't see it, but it's red up here and peeling.
We can see, like
you see it's
on
red?
your left top side, the other side. Yes, over there you have a little bit left.
Thank you for him to point that out.
I'm not pointing that out.
Only men do that. Yeah, you're a little fat around here. Thanks, husband. I'm not fat. No, you're a little fat right there. Yeah, no, it's coming off. I had it really bad on the face. It was gnarly. I was like, what's happening? Okay. Black don't crack, but it gets melasma. Anyway, let me see. Hello, finally made it live. Hi, my beautiful Stephanie. Oh, Jackie. Thank you. Love you, Jackie. Steph looks exactly like she did at 2015, if not better. I think I look better. I was still learning in those days. My electrolytes were not good, and I was doing a lot of oxalates then. So I think since my oxalate dumpage and getting rid of it, because I was doing, you guys, I was pushing spinach and all this kind of stuff. I think that my body's like, oh, thank you, Stephanie. Because I was getting kind of puffy even in 2015 from all the oxalates. Let me see. How much liver do you recommend? I just said it. I knew this was going to be a question. You guys only need 1 or 2 ounces a day, and I use it as a multivitamin. It's hard to get grass-fed liver and to eat pounds of it. Plus, it's got a lot of carbohydrates in it, so unless you're eating it raw.
But you can eat it every day. Imagine fried
Yummy.
with lemon on top.
What if you're carnivore? You can't put lemon. And lemon is a high histamine food. So we got to be careful for the individual, because I'm telling you, the Greek guy, if you say that, they will all do it if they have histamine.
Oh, see, you learned something every day with Stephanie.
Thank you, Greek guy.
Hey,
Okay.
we're on camera.
Okay, right.
Bye, Stephanie.
Okay.
Yeah, don't read that.
Stephanie. Yeah, Paul needs to be put in timeout. Liver contains glutathione. Actually, it's hard to get like real sizable amounts of glutathione from food. You have to kind of rely on your own conversion. So, because glutathione is like the most amazing antioxidant in the body.
Liver pate.
Pate is great. And, you guys, don't forget Ancestral Supplements. They do all granulars from head to friggin' balls. They do testicles now for men who are having low testosterone. There it is. Perfect placement for it. And there's a Steph code for a discount. It's not Amazon, so you got to go through their website. It's Steph Keto, capital S on S and capital K on Keto. And they're the only sponsor that I have, even though I have people trying to get me to be sponsored by them every day, because I love these guys so much that they're the only one I said yes to, because they do thyroid, trachea, adrenals, kidney, thymus, brain, they do a lot. Spleen, balls, they do desiccated tallow, which is great for traveling. Let's see. Seaweed snacks are nice. You go girl with your bad self. I already read that. With the biochemistry. Okay, shellfish allergy sucks. Yeah, then you would do liver. A lot of people have shellfish allergies, unfortunately. It's very common. Like, it's just and the thing is like fish, anything from the sea, not only has poison in the water, but it also collects a lot of bacteria by the time it hits your plate. So a lot of people can't do shellfish, and then they would have to do liver. Or desiccate liver. I hate not being able to eat shellfish. Yes, I know that sucks. Damn, that sucks. Okay, what's up? How are you? How are non-salmon fish eggs? I eat butter alone. Is that okay, or should I be paired with protein? I think it depends if you have hypochlorhydria, like low stomach acid, hypoglycemia, or if you've got a gallbladder issue, then I really recommend that you add protein with fat together. Otherwise, you could have fat by itself as a snack, because fat is my pre-workout. So I'll do a tablespoon of butter or 2, or a tablespoon or 2 of tallow together before I go work out. I tried to get my fat with keto Kerrygold. I had a histamine response. Yeah. So this is what I'm saying. Some people can't handle, like everybody like, oh my God, Kerrygold better. I swear I made their stock go up talking about Kerrygold, but you know, let's see. Some of you guys are reacting to how our smoke can, I don't know. I've never had them before.
Well, if they are canned, I don't think that they have all the preservatives and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Well, also, they tend to collect a lot of bacteria as they're canning them. And then you have to be careful if they're now like non-BPA plastic on the inside of the can. So I don't know, if you find one that you like and it doesn't have any foolery with it, I can fry it for my kids or no. Yeah, of course. Why wouldn't you be able to have it for kids? Liver? Yeah.
Yeah.
Where is a clean source of oysters? You have to go to your fish market. I don't know what state you're in, so that's a hard one to say. Manganese seems to be the hardest to get from animal foods, according to the, forget the chronometer. That thing's so off, I can't. Just toss it. You mentioned potassium yesterday on your story. Could you explain on that, on how to achieve optimal levels of potassium and sodium balance? I'm going to do a whole huge live on that, on the balance of it. So I kind of running out of time right now. But yes, it's very, very important to have your sodium potassium balance, or else you're going to swell up like a balloon. Ask a carnivore yogi. And my mother also went through a really difficult time because she didn't eat enough salt. When your body doesn't have enough salt in it, then you hold on to the salt, and then now you start to swell, right? And without potassium, you have the same problem. If you don't have enough potassium in the body's like, oh, I need to hold on to more salt. So I'll go through the whole, I'll like do a whole thing on that, because that's super important. The Greek guy's face is thinning out. Great job. I wish I could lose weight. Kate, don't worry about weight. Fix the health first. Weight will come off when the inflammation goes down. You are so right. When I did carnivore, I got sick with candida explosion. Yes, so she had a candida die-off. So that's another whole video on how to do carnivore where you don't have a candida die-off. And dare I say, Jackie, you might have had an oxalate dumpage as well. So then you would go slowly into carnivore. Keto carnivore. Did you plan? What's up, Nancy? Nancy, I'm getting all your stuff on the email. I just haven't had time to email you back, especially with the horse stuff. So thank you so much, Nancy. I want to say thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Love, love, love the stuff. And thank you for all the stuff you post on the course page, because she's on the keto course page. So thank you, Nancy. Behooves me. I know.
Hi, Alicia.
Let me see. I caught that, Nancy. Tongue is amazing. Yes. My first live. Yay, Talisha. Yay. Forward. Aren't you on my course page? Am I tripping?
Probably. I don't know.
Course page? Talisha? Oh, she is on my course page because she signed up for a mini consultation, I think.
Wait, we jumped a lot of questions. Jesus.
You're looking great. Wish I could look like you. Oh, thank you, Debbie. 1595. Thank you so much for the wonderful technical explanations. That makes sense. Been struggling with high morning glucose, need to up the fats. Mix it and get sleep, Anne, because it either could be the morning dawns effect where it's normal, or it can be hypoglycemia during the night, and that could be problematic. Okay, so how long do you do carnivore to heal the candida for SIBO, and then how to repopulate the gut? Okay, so milk, what is it, something? You don't get rid of candida, you can just lower the spore count. You don't actually get rid of it because it's protected by a stupid biofilm. And everything's different. If you sleep bad, those candida spores will go up. If you go have that Starbucks freaking egg bacon thing like he was talking about, the candida spores will go up because there's sugar in the bacon. So everything's contextual. Do you count the protein in collagen powder? Yes, but I would suggest to not use collagen powder due to the glutamate and oxalates. I would not use it all the time. It just is a trend that had no salt is toxic. Use potassium citrate instead, or do carnivore with adding a avocado in, and don't let people tell you it's not carnivore because you had an avocado, because it's just nonsense if 99% of your diet is freaking carnivore. What's your thoughts on doing a colonoscopy? Probably everybody who's been eating garbage should do one, definitely. No, okay, say no, yeah, that's 13. This is 13%, yes. And what you guys don't know, I'll do a video on it later, is that right here I have old fibroids that just have always been there. So there's always a bulge here. Otherwise it would be like this. So yeah, it's about 13%. Yeah, I don't talk about it much because I forget, or it's not important. But being a woman of color, my mom had fibroids, all her sisters had fibroids, everybody had fibroids. I had fibroids when I was younger, and how much time do we have left?
2 minutes.
2. And I had I had big ones, so I've shrunken my fibroids, but they still make me bulge out right here. But yeah, this is about 14%. Let me see here. Oh, I did OMAD for a long time, got rid of my, what time is it? 5:09. It's almost 5. Okay. I did OMAD for a long time, got rid of my fat belly, and thought I was, thought I was healthy. Then I developed middle of the night insomnia, and a daytime sleepies, which is hypoglycemia. Quit OMAD now, so hopefully I can get full bites, like night sleep. They wrote bite at night. You guys, do not do one meal a day. Do not intermittent fast. I know all these experts like to break down the science, but they don't connect it to people. Rat studies and, not knowing between like 20 or 40 people or 500 people, and they're doing all of these people, I can't remember the name of the studies where people are just like filling out surveys. No bueno. Okay, let me see here. I'm rushing, so I'm getting like, we have to quit soon. I have sensitivity to magnesium glycinate. What is it? Malate. That's what I said. Some people have a sensitivity to glycinate due malate. Yes, I feel full, but I don't feel great. I'm eating fatty meats too. Okay, I don't know what that was from. You are amazing stuff. Can you just have fat in the morning only? So nope, you have to eat food, especially protein. Protein's going to stabilize that blood sugar. Don't just eat fat by itself. Eat protein with fat so you don't have this adrenal freaking response and thyroid problem, because people are developing hair falling out on carnivore, eating 2 pounds of beef because their macros are off and it's affecting their thyroid because they don't have any energy. They don't have any gasoline to the tank. What did you think about choline supplements to help with fatty liver? That I don't know, Adrian, and I wouldn't say until I did more research on it. So yes. Hi, Steph. If I'm going to hit the gym hard, should I eat more carbs or more fat? It depends. If you're trying to drive, if you want to be in ketosis, then you would drive more. You would eat more fat. If you're eating carbs, you would eat more carbs. I still am trying to gain 10 pounds, more 10 pounds. Thanks. I am 6'3", 210 pounds now. Are you body fat up? Because at 6'3", 210 is not skinny. I mean, you could be like at 6'3", you could be like 220, but
I guess 10 more pounds of muscle.
Yeah, but I don't know what his body fat is.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm taking the ancestral supplements. Make formula Mofo 1. It's keeping me as a beast. I don't know what Mofo 1 is, but Meyer is doing the ancestral. So, I mean, it's really weird to promote. I was promoting Ancestral before they sponsored me because I was like, oh, my histamine reaction, my DAO production went up. And then they found me and they're like, oh my God, do you want us to sponsor you? I was like, now, get on it, okay? Best electrolytes, sodium, avocados for potassium. You can get potassium in the organ meats as well, in some of the organs like liver, but not a lot, and bone marrow, but it's got the oxalates and in let me see, in the shellfishy stuff. I just bought Ancestral Supplements Gallbladder. It had great reviews. Do you recommend these products? Yes! Look, I'm sponsored by them all day, every day. Then you can get it cheaper through my discount code on their site. Still like Keto Clarity, just got the book, right? I'm in Keto Clarity from like, I don't know, it's like 8 years ago when nobody was talking about keto and people actually could find me. Now people can't find me because like we only have 76 people in this darn thing. I have lemon every day. What are the symptoms of high histamine? Itchy, bloaty, mucousy, like seasonal allergy symptoms, rashy, bloated, burpy, tired. And Carnivore is good to heal the SIBO and Candida. It can help the SIBO, which is the open walls in the gut wall. It doesn't lower the Candida, but it'll lower the spore count. How long do you do it for? Months? 3-month chunks. How do you get calcium without cheese? You can get it from fish bones. That's the best source. You can also get it from eggshells. People are like, oh, what about the calcium? Calcium chloride. You can get it from fish bones, eggshells, chicken bones. It's really good. Shellfish. Carnivore is good to heal SIBO, Candida. I already read that. You're going slow. Underactive thyroid is a problem that will still hold me back no matter the diet. Yes, it does matter the diet. You don't know what you're doing. You don't know what nutrition I need for the thyroid, how to deal with stress, how to diaphragmatic breathe. Like if you're going to do thyroid, you have to get zinc, you have to get selenium and iodine balance. You have to make sure that your blood sugar is in balance. You've got to make sure that your adrenal glands are in balance. You got to make sure you're getting cholesterol for your sex hormones and you get vitamin D for the thyroid and yes, of course. Yes, it matters the diet, what you do. Okay, don't lose weight when I'm doing keto calorie restriction or fasting. I also have very deep cellulite. Could this be caused by estrogen dominance? Yes, it's estrogen dominance. It could be, it is estrogen dominance. It could be your lymphatic system and also trapped fascia in the muscle. Stress, Hey, Steph, you mentioned kidney problems earlier. I found that eating beef, kidney, or ancestral supplements plus, what is it?
cordyceps mushrooms.
Work
Works
wonders.
wonders.
Okay, great. I don't know if that type of mushroom has a yeast effect. Some don't. It could be hypothyroidism, but I do not know. You will need to blood test. It could be hypothyroidism. You need a full panel. You need to do 3 or 4 of them because one is not conclusive. So don't always go by the first test and never go by a TSH because it just doesn't do enough. My knee is killing me. Let me see. I can put it up here. See, I've discovered the cause of essential hypertension. I've probably hyperinsulinemia. Why don't doctors see the connection? They don't. See the excess insulin push up blood pressure, but doctors won't medicate. You have doctors who are like diabetic specialists. You have doctors who are endocrinologists, cardiologists, rheumatologists, urologists. And they only learn that one area. And they learn, like, when I had kidney pain, they're like, oh, it's from working out. I was like, no, it was from the oxalate buildup in the crystals in my freaking kidneys, which went away when I stopped freaking eating things that had high oxalates. How does the body fat need to be to show abs? You can see abs at like 18%, 14%. This is pretty good at, my bottom abs, like I said, always have a problem to completely show because of fibroids. They're pedunculated, which means they're on top of the uterus. Here's one. But if I didn't have them, you'd see it more. So yeah, that's subjective. That's about 13, 14% body fat. I do have other symptoms of thyroid issues. Okay, how about meat plus coconut oil? No. Coconut oil is not ketogenic. It's only good for candida, nothing else. Nothing else, honey. And for the brain. That's it. Can't tolerate. You need to eat, find out fats that you can tolerate. I love Stephanie. You glow so much. Oh, thank you. People don't seem to understand me. They think, oh my gosh, she's so narcissistic. That's just what they said on Keto Yogi's channel. She's like, so I was like, narcissistic? I live in a shoebox. I hang out with a horse all day long and I don't make any money. I'm a dumb narcissist then. Okay, what if I'm not hungry? People forget I'm in my 50s. Like, you get a little cranky around the edges. Okay, what if I'm not hungry in the morning? Should I still eat? Yes, you have to figure out why you're not eating. It could be from hypochlorhydria. It could be from gallbladder, from eating too late. Blah, blah. Do you count the protein and collagen peptides? Yes, but don't take them. Yes. Okay. When I was eating total keto and lost weight and hair, thyroid, started carnivore and my hair is growing back. Yay. How do I do keto carnivore? 200 grams of fat, adding fat. Add fat to your plates. 3 tablespoons per meal, 3 times a day. Lemon juice heals kidneys. Yes, it helps to soften up the stones so you can pee them out. Are we good? Thank you for this info stuff. All right, guys, we gotta go. Thank you so much for this live stream.
Chill.
I know, sorry. Coconut oil is great for hair strength.
Okay.
No, actually, it's not great for hair strength. It's antimicrobial, fungal, and viral, and it's got lauric acid in it, but it doesn't do anything for hair growth. I don't know where you got that from, unless you put it on the hair. Yeah. So, biotin is really great for hair growth. I think that's it.
Yep.
My knee's killing me too. I was cleaning out Thunder's stall for hours yesterday, so my knee kind of hurt. Because you guys know I used to be a pro skater, busted my knee. So you guys, for a consultation, go to stephanieperson.com right there and get your carnivore macros corrected. It's going to make you sick. It can give you thyroid issues. It can give you kidney issues. It can give you electrolyte issues. And it won't heal the gut wall if you're not careful and make you constipated. Stephanie Business Person for Facebook, if you guys want free content there. And Stephanie Ketogenic on my Instagram-y. And
yes.
I think that's it.
And one last
consultations
question.
and my course page, stephanieperson.com.
Awesome. One last question that I got right now from Milk SK.
Okay.
What about the ones that can't tolerate avocado?
Potassium citrate. Woo! Potassium citrate supplementally. There you go. And meat broth.
Yes.
Meat broth every day.
I think we're
Some
out.
Himalayan salt.
And I think we're out.
And we're out, Matrix Greek guy. Yeah. And I just want to say, you guys, I've been very exhausted. If I look cranky and bitchy and cranky towards the Greek guy, it's just literally because I've been wiped out, and we'll do like 20 videos on top of going to bed late, running all these courses and homework and riding my bike and going to the gym. And it's like, I'm trying to figure out my schedule with having a horse, which I rescued. And so when I come to the studio and we do 20 videos, I get super tired. So ignore my crankiness to him. That's just what happens when you're a woman. Okay.
In the end, I can protect myself.
He can protect himself.
Yeah, there is a window over there.
All right, guys. Thank you so much. Don't forget to hit the notification, like up the stream, and yeah, make sure that your notifications are turned on in your YouTube account, because a lot of people are not getting their people are getting like some of my lives. A woman was getting like 3 weeks after I did a video. She's like, I just got your notification to go live. She's like, I was trying to comment and then I realized you weren't live. She saw the date. That's how messed up people are not getting my live. So don't forget to hit everything. And thank you, Diane, for everything. Thank you so much. She's super informative. I think it's a lot. Wait, my hair is very strong. Okay, I gotta shut up because he's got to go to his next job.
Bye.
Bye.